Most people assume that they'll pay less in taxes when they retire, but millions walk straight into a tax trap that quietly drains thousands of dollars, money that they've spent decades saving. I'm Ben Batiste, a financial planner and founder of Crestmark Wealth Group. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what the trap is and why most people never see it coming, and how to build a simple plan to protect what you've earned so you can actually enjoy retirement without the stress. Most of us have all of our retirement savings in one type of account. I'm talking about your traditional 401ks and your IRAs. Think of these accounts like a special garden. For your whole career, the government let you grow your money plants without paying any rain tax on them. It felt great, right? Every dollar that you planted helped lower your taxes that year, and your money grew and grew tax-free. But here's the catch that nobody's talking about, and that is you didn't avoid the tax, you just hit the snooze button on it. When you retire and you go to pick out your beautiful money plants, the government shows up with a basket and says, okay, time to pay up. A big part of that giant pile of money that you see really is not yours. You've been sharing an account with the IRS all along. As a matter of fact, the way the IRS views this is it's their money first until you pay the taxes, and then it's your money. So when you retire, that tax bill will finally arrive. Every single dollar that you take out of that garden, whether it was a seed you planted or the fruit that it grew, gets taxed as regular income. This ruins the biggest myth about retirement. And that myth is I will pay tiny taxes in retirement, or I'll pay less amount of taxes in retirement. For many people, this is not true. Think about it. You still want to live your life. You want to travel. You want to see your family. To get, say, $80 of spending money, you might need to pull about $100 from your account just to pay federal and state taxes. This creates what's called a merry-go-round. You'll pull out more money to cover the taxes, but pulling out more money makes your income look bigger, which can push you onto a faster, more expensive merry-go-round where you can pay even more in taxes. So if that wasn't bad enough, the problem gets worse because there's a rule called the required minimum distributions, also known as RMDs. The government was like a patient parent letting your money grow and grow, but their patience runs out, right? Thanks to the Secure Act 2.0 or the Secure 2.0 Act, the IRS forces you to start taking money out of your traditional accounts starting at age 73 or 75, whether you want to or not. This isn't a friendly reminder. It's a rule that you cannot break. If you don't take out the required amount, the penalty is a giant 25% of what you're supposed to have taken. So this is where the tax time bomb really explodes. Forced withdrawals are like a flood of new income. The flood gets stacked on top of your other income, Social Security as an example, and this causes two painful things to happen. Number one, it can make your Social Security benefits taxable. Yes, the government can tax the money that they give you. Depending on your income, which now includes that RMD flood, up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxed. So the RMDs force you to take money, which then makes your Social Security check smaller. Second, and this is the big one, it can make your health insurance much more expensive because of something called IRMAA. Think of IRMAA as a secret fee for Medicare. If your income pushed up by these RMDs crosses certain lines, you'll pay a huge surcharge for your healthcare. For example, 2026, these extra charges started for individuals earning over $109,000 and for married couples earning over $218,000. Those numbers can change, but the surcharges can cost a retired couple thousands of extra dollars every single year. So to recap on this trap, you've saved your money like you were told to, and now you're forced to take it out, which can push you into a higher tax bracket, make your Social Security taxable, and then make your healthcare more expensive. You've lost control at that point. So how do you stop this from happening, and how do you get back in control? Well, the answer is a simple idea called tax diversification, which is easiest to picture as a three-bucket system. The goal is not to have all of your money eggs in one basket, so to speak. Instead, you spread your savings across three different buckets, and each one has a different tax rule. So bucket number one, right? This is now your money. This is a normal bank account or investment account that you filled this bucket with money after you paid taxes on it. When you take money out, you only pay a little bit of tax on the growth. This bucket is awesome because it's flexible. It's a great place to get cash for purchases or to live on your early retirement years without having a big tax surprise. Now, what's bucket number two? This is the bucket where the ticking time bomb that we've been talking about, the traditional 401ks and the IRAs, this is where that is. You get a tax break when you put money in and it grew without paying taxes on it, but every penny that you take out is now taxed. The bucket isn't all bad though. I've got to be very clear here. That tax-free growth helped your money get big. The secret isn't to get rid of this bucket, but to manage it. You have to be the boss of when you pay the tax bill instead of letting RMD rules be the boss of you. So then what's bucket number three? Well, this is the golden ticket of retirement, your Roth IRA, your Roth 401k. You fill this bucket with after-tax money so you don't get a tax break today. But here's the magic. The money grows completely tax-free, and every qualified withdrawal that you make in retirement is 100% tax-free. So think about that, right? You have $1 million in a Roth, and then you pull out, say, $50,000 every year without paying one penny in federal income tax. That money, though, is invisible to the tax man. So it doesn't affect your Social Security and it doesn't count toward those scary IRMAA fees for Medicare. Plus, Roth IRAs don't have RMDs for the person who owns them. So the government cannot force you to take this money out. This bucket gives you all the power. So knowing how all these three buckets together work is the key to a worry-free retirement. It lets you pick and choose which bucket to pull from year over year, and you keep your tax bill small. To help do this, I've put together a free guide called the 3-Bucket Retirement Tax Diversification Checklist. It helps you see which buckets your accounts fall into and gives you a starting point for your own plan. You can download it for free at the link in the description below. And then, of course, how do you actually use these 3 buckets? Well, everyone's plan is different. There's a common way to think about which bucket to use first. A popular idea is to start by spending from your taxable bucket. This can keep your taxable income looking very small to the IRS in your first few years of being retired. You're living off money where the taxes are mostly already paid. You might carefully dip into the tax-deferred bucket. You strategically take money from your 401k and IRA, maybe just enough to fill the lowest tax brackets, but not so much that you wake the tax monster or trigger those Medicare fees. Finally, you save the tax-free bucket for last. You let that money keep growing, completely tax-free for as long as you can. It's your secret weapon. If you need a new car, a new roof, take it from the Roth without paying taxes. Worried that tax rates will go up in the future, your Roth is your shield. This is not necessarily going to be for everyone, but it shows you the power of choice. So the point that I'm making here is by having money in all 3 buckets, you stop being a victim of the tax rules and become the boss of your own retirement. You get to decide each year, where is my money going to go and where is it going to come from? That's the financial power. That's financial freedom. So for years, everyone has been focused on one thing. How much money can you save? But the real test in retirement just is not about how much you have. It's about how much you can keep. The retirement tax trap is it's saving a pile of money in your 401k and then realizing that it's too late, that the IRS has been your secret partner all along, just waiting to take its share. By using the 3-bucket system, you can turn that ticking tax time bomb into a predictable, manageable part of your plan. You can make sure that your hard-earned money gives you the safe and happy retirement that you've always wanted with no nasty surprises from the tax man. You worked hard for your money. It's time to keep more of it. If you like this content, subscribe, give us a follow. You can also visit us over at www.crestmarkwealth.com. See you in the next one.